Hey everybody, it's Preston here, aka Godzilla Hawk, and I'm going to do a proper video. Like I said, if you did not watch my last recent video I did last night on SmackDown, you can check that out. I don't even want to talk about that. This is going to be a very late review on AEW and NXT. What I decided to do was I'm going to do a Who's Better type of thing, called the Wednesday Night War Series. I know, not the most original, but I figured this would be kind of fun. So, on Wednesdays, I'll be watching AEW and NXT, and I'll be judging both shows and find out which show I thought did better. Before I move on, AEW did win the ratings with a 1.4 million, so very good debut thus far. Hopefully it'll rise up. But this is my own personal preference. This ratings have nothing to do with it. It's just the show I believe I enjoyed the most when it comes to both shows. So, again, it's going to be very diverse opinion-wise, but I will have a winner, and from here on moving forward, I'll be coming up here and I'll be reviewing AEW NXT. So this will be episode 1, the Wednesday Night War, and then we'll be talking about episode 2 next week when I get to AEW NXT, whether that being Thursday or Friday when I ever get a chance to get to it. This one was just a lot later than normal. I was planning to do it with Brandon, but Brandon unfortunately is not feeling well, so I figured I'd do this by myself, plus it'd be quicker anyway. Like I said, I am recovering from surgery, but I'm okay right now. In terms of Hell in a Cell review, I'm going to remind everybody again, I am going to Hell in a Cell tomorrow live, so I will not be doing a review on Sunday. You'll get a review either Monday or Tuesday. A late review on that. So just want to let you know I'll be attending Hell in a Cell live here in Sacramento. With that being said, let's go and talk about AEW and NXT. I know a lot of people have already talked about this show, so I'm just going to go every single detail, segment, stuff like that, what I liked about both shows, what I thought were negatives overall, and overall give my scores on each show and what I thought did better, my personal opinion. So we're going to start with AEW. We had AEW Dynamite. I liked the intro. It was very unique, colorful. Definitely stood out. We have the commentaries of JR, Excalibur, and Tony Schiavone. You can tell JR is still trying to get used to everything. Tony Schiavone wasn't bad, but I thought it was a very solid, good commentary team. And compared to a lot of commentaries we've gotten over the years, I mean, this felt a lot fresher. So commentary I thought was very good, and hopefully they'll get better. But we had the open contest. We had Sammy Guevara versus Cody Rhodes. I thought it was a very good opener. To start off, yeah, a little slow and a little sloppy parts in it, but nothing too major. Sammy Guevara ended up hitting the suicide dive on Brandy Rhodes outside. Oh, I'm sorry. Cody Rhodes hit a suicide dive to Brandy Rhodes when Guevara put her in front of harm's way. Guevara almost got a few near falls. And towards the end match, Sammy Guevara went for a high-risk maneuver. Cody got the knees up in a small cradle. 1, 2, 3. A very different ending normally, but I didn't think about this until recently. They call it high risk for a reason because it could cost you the entire match, and I do like that little idea of if you go high risk, there is a chance you will lose. And keep in mind, Cody never had to hit a finisher on Sammy. He just had to outsmart him and outwit him. So that's pretty much what he did. Guevara and Cody shook hands after the match, and Tony Schiavone looked like he was going to interview Cody, and then Chris Jericho came out because they have a match for Cody Rhodes and Jericho for their next pay-per-view in November of Full Gear. And I want to say this too because it's very important. Brandon will agree with me on this. Is one of the things AEW needs to do. They cannot be a copy of WWE. They cannot be a copy of anything. They need to be doing their own thing. One of the things that Cody and Tony Khan, all of them said that wins and losses are going to matter in a huge way. And so when they did this, I thought, wow, this is cool. And what's cool about this, if you pay attention to all the wrestlers during this show, it has their win and loss records on their names, and I thought that's an excellent idea. What I also liked about this Cody Sammy Guevara is it wasn't just a random match thrown in. Because Cody Sammy Pro was saying that if he were to lose, he would give his spot to Sammy Guevara. But the commentators made it also clear that if you are a number one contender for a championship, it doesn't matter if it's for a tag team women's, singles, it doesn't matter. If you're in contender for a championship, and if you lose to somebody, singles match or a draw, your opportunity, your contendership is in void. It's invalid. That means, so if Cody Rhodes would have lost Sammy Guevara, Cody would not be challenging Jericho for the heavyweight championship at Full Gear. His opportunity would be gone. He'd have to work his way back in it. I love that concept. It makes all the matches mean something. It makes the matches more watchable. It makes the matches more dramatic because there's that slim possibility that, oh, if Cody were to lose, that's not a big deal. He's still number one contender. No, now it's, if Cody were to lose, he would have lost his championship opportunity. It's always high stakes. It makes it a lot more interesting to watch. So I applaud AEW for that. So we have that. So again, very good opener, and Jericho attacking, of course, building up for a Full Gear match. We had Brandon Cutler versus MJF. I like Brandon Cutler. I've never seen him wrestle, but I like his whole story and everything about him coming back to wrestling and everything. MJF, the guy, is a future world champion. I will be surprised if they don't put at least some sort of championship on him within the next couple of years. I would say even in a year. This guy's a gold mine. The guy is definitely the mouthpiece. He's probably going to be one of their biggest heels on the company. This guy is the future of professional wrestling. This guy, I haven't seen a whole lot of him in terms of in-ring talent, but in terms of mic skills alone, it's going to get him far. The guy can carry himself, especially with no scripted promos. It really helps him. So, MJF, he got a victory with this Fuji armbar, Salty Earth armbar, I think he calls it. So, 3-minute match. The match itself was very sloppy. It did very slow at times. It wasn't anything that great, I'll be honest. But MJF got the win. That's what's important, because if MJF is built to be the future and one of the top stars, future top stars of the company, you need to give him some singles wins. So, this was a good start for MJF. So, I see great things for MJF. And hopefully Brandon Cutler could be like that underdog champion, like maybe later down the road. Not anytime soon, maybe a few years from now. He could be that underdog champion if done right. We got a little segment with them interviewing Kevin Hart and... I'm sorry, not Kevin Hart, god damn it. Kevin Smith, and I keep forgetting the other guys. I'm just going to call him Jay and Silent Bob. To help promote their own movie, they were in attendance. And Uncle Jack Evans came out to get in their faces. After that, Private Party came out to help them out, and that was it. The segment, no segments like this, if this was like 10 minutes long, I would have cringed. This would have been painful, but this was a couple minutes. It wasn't over the top. It wasn't cringy to the point where I'm like, oh god damn, I need to turn off the TV. It wasn't anything like that. It was fine for what it was. It was a final segment. Got some of the guys that weren't wrestling on TV a little bit, so that's what it is. So now I don't really have any complaints with that segment. It was harmless. Next, I believe we got another segment. That was the SCU segment. Yeah, so Barack Obama parody. Loved it. But after that, we had the SCU members come up with Shivani, and Shivani asking that, okay, so which two of you members are going to be part of the tag team tournament? Because they are doing a tag team tournament to crown the first ever AEW tag team champions. And they announced that it's going to be Christopher Daniels and Kazarian are going to be the two representatives representing SCU for the tournament. Phoenix and Pentagon Jr. end up coming out, getting their faces, they got into a brawl. I like the little teases, that possible tease we might get for the finals. A lot of people might not think about this. They're saying up that these guys are going to fight eventually, but I also like that these guys could potentially be fighting each other in the finals of the AEW Tag Team Championship. So I do like that little hint that we could be getting this match. I guarantee you we're going to get this match either way, but I kind of like that little thing they did there where this match could still happen, but it can happen in the tournament. So again, the segment was fine. It did what it needed to do to help build the tag team tournament up starting next week, which is going to be a lot of fun. Then we got Pac. I gotta remember that. It's Pac now versus Heyman and Page. Very good match. Again, there were some slapping moments, some slow moments. I thought this match was good for what it was. Pac ended up winning by lowballing Heyman Page, hitting the Black Arrow. He calls it then the Brutalizer submission, or Reigns of Saturn. And tapping out Heyman Page, so Pac gets a huge victory over that. over Heyman Page. So very good match. Like I said, Pac is now 2-0. So it's going to be very interesting where he goes next, what happens with him next. But right now he's undefeated, so technically if he gets at least another victory or somewhat another victory, I think he deserves a shot at the championship at this point. Then we have Nyla Rose versus Riho to crown the first ever women's championship. I'll be honest, when I thought of the women's championship, I was not thinking Riho or Nyla Rose as their two finals. I personally would have not done it that way. I think it would have been better if you did like Britt Baker versus Bea Priestley. I'm a big Bea Priestley fan, so maybe that's why. But I think it's a bigger marquee match. Riho and Nyla Rose, not saying they can't win a championship, it's just they're definitely new. But I'll give them credit. This match was solid. Again, it had a lot of botches and miscommunications as well, slow at times. But for a match, I've seen way worse women's matches. This wasn't nearly as bad. I thought this match was solid, maybe even decent. But I would say this, the crowd made this match go from a solid match to a great match, just from the crowd reaction. So I do respect the crowd for that, trying to get the match even more hyped. And I'm not going to lie, it had me a couple times. Nyla Rose had piled chairs on the outside, tried to do a swanton on Riho. Riho moved out of the way. Definitely drivers. Near fall after near fall, but at the end of the day, Riho overcame the odds, hit the double knees on Nyla Rose, pinned her. So Riho is officially the inaugural AEW Women's Champion. Michael Nakazawa kind of comes out to try to do an interview with Riho, but he gets assaulted by Nyla Rose. And then Nyla Rose looks like she's about to put away Riho until Kenny Omega shows up to save Nyla Rose. Now, a lot of people might think, well, this is random, but it's really not random if you think about it, because Kenny Omega has said himself that he's a big fan of the Jusho, I think it's pronounced Jusho wrestlers, which I think is Japanese for women's wrestlers. And he was one of the ones that handpicked Riho to be part of AEW, so he was kind of like a mentor to her. They've been partners for a while, so it only made sense for him to come out and save Riho. And he never attacked Nyla Rose or anything like that. He just came out and stopped it. So Nyla Rose walks off. So it looks like Nyla Rose and Riho may continue somewhere down the road. But again, with this win-loss record, anything's possible. So we'll have to wait and see what happens next. Then we get to the main event. It was the six-man tag of Santana and Ortiz and Jericho take on the Elite, Omega, and the Young Bucks. The match was pretty much going the Elite's favor. Then Moxley shows up. He returns and attacks Omega because, again, they're having a match come out in full gear, keeping that continuity. But another thing I also liked about this match, too, was Omega was not the legal man, but notice normally if somebody attacks somebody in the ring during a match, it'd be automatic DQ. But you notice I never DQ'd this match. And honestly, I like that. It's different. It's basically saying, if it's a six-man tag, if one member gets attacked, I'm not going to throw the match away. Bullshit. This match is going to continue as a handicap match if that has to. I love that. That's another thing that makes it stand out and makes it different. It's not the traditional WWE way of, it's a DQ finish on the main event. We've seen countless times. No, it just got turned into a handicap match. But it wasn't the way of, this was random stupid. It was like, no, it was to build a match that's happening in full gear, which I've been waiting for since All Out, which never happened. So they brawl, and they fight into the VIP area, Moxley and Omega, and Moxley hits I like to call it the Death Rider, through a glass table, which looked cool, by the way. And Omega was basically out for the remainder of the match and the remainder of the night. Young Bucks try to fight back. They're doing well, but they can't overcome the odds. And Jericho and LX, we're just going to call him LX for right now, end up getting a victory. Cody Rhodes ended up showing up and attacking Jericho because he had unfinished business with Jericho, and Jericho assaulted him earlier. He wants revenge. Can't make sense. Sammy Guevara comes out, and he low blows Cody Rhodes, again, because he lost to Cody, so it's a heel, by the way, so makes sense. Dustin comes out to help his own brother. He lays out everybody else and stands tall until we get the returning Jake Hager, formerly known as Jack Swagger, comes out, attacks all the baby faces, Heads a gut-wrench power bomb through the, I think it's a timekeeper's table that's up in the ring, but it didn't break all the way. It's very weird. It didn't break, but it kind of broke, if you know what I mean. So Jake Hager's part of AEW, and that's how the show ended, basically. So it looks like a possible new faction, maybe. I don't know what this means. So yeah, that's basically what happens. I'm not the biggest Jack Hager fan, so honestly, to me personally, this really, it was pretty cool, but at the same time, I'm like, I've never been a fan of Jack Swagger. I've never been a fan of him as a wrestler, whether it was WWE, not even Lucha Underground. In fact, Lucha Underground, he really felt out of place. I'm not gonna lie, he really felt out of place. But now he's part of AEW. I don't know. He'll win me over for it. I don't know. It just he's never done anything for me. In WWE, he never did anything for me. The General, he never did anything for me. So maybe AEW will be the place for him, but I don't know. It never really did anything for me personally. So overall, I thought for a debut show, it was a great episode. Again, it was not flawless by any means. I do wish they kind of added some more story elements into the match. And I do wish some of the matches were a little bit less sloppy, less botchy. Because there were times it was botchy and sloppy at times. And again, I kind of wish a little bit more character development, a little bit more storytelling with some of the wrestlers. But that's basically really all the negatives I really have for that show. They're just minor, more like nitpicks and a little bit, few issues. But other than that, I don't have any problems with this show at all. Then we move on to NXT. Now, this was the first episode of the full 2-hour show on USA Network. We open up the show with Adam Cole defending the NXT Championship against Matt Riddle. The match that should have been the main event ended up being the opener, and this was takeover quality. I'm not exaggerating when I say it. This was by far the best match of the entire Wednesday night. This match was excellent. I cannot say anything else. This was about a 15-minute match, too. It felt like 15 minutes. But these guys kicked the shit out of each other. It was awesome. I love this match. I can't even describe all the stuff they did in this match. It was just flat out insane. At the end of it, though, Cole basically won. He hit Matt Riddle with his cast because he got his hand fractured from Matt Riddle last week. He used the cast as a weapon and then hit the last shot to the back of the skull of Matt Riddle, and he won. So Adam Cole keeps the NXT Championship. Adam Cole goes silver, but Finn Balor's music hits. I was legitimately shocked. I was like, wait, what? In fact, Balor stares in front of Adam Cole saying, I'm NXT now. So Finn Balor looks like he's full-time back on NXT. Thank God. Thank God. He's way too fucking good to be wasted on the main roster. If you have nothing for him on the main roster, either release the guy or send him back to NXT. Thank God. Now we might get an Adam Cole and Finn Balor feud. But after what happened at the end of the show, a lot more stuff can happen now. So it's going to be very interesting. I'll get to that. Next, let me see. I believe it was... I'm trying to go on the top of my head here on everything. I don't have everything written down. I believe it was Mia Yim and Io Shirai, I believe, was, I think, the next match. I thought this match was way better. Look, guys like the X-Men have their opinions. I was kind of let down and kind of disappointed how he felt. I thought the match was great. I thought the crowd was into it. This was one of Mia Yim's better matches I've seen of her, of all, in her career thus far here in NXT or WWE, whatever you want to call it. My gripe with this match, I did admit, I think it gone 2 commercials too long. I think it should have just been a 1 commercial match and that was it. If they would just kind of just done the 1 commercial that finished up for the last 5-6 minutes of the match and then that was it, I think that would have been fine. It went a little too long in my opinion. It was still a great match. I thought it was a really good match. But I think it kind of was a little long. But Io Shirai ended up winning, which is good because they're giving her some victories now. I don't know what that means for NXT Women's Championship, which we'll get into, but I have a prediction. But we'll see what happens. Then I believe... like I said, I'm trying to remember all the matches. A lot of matches happened on this show. Crud. I'm blanking now. I'm not liking this at all. shoot. It was after that. I think it was a Tegan Knox promo, so she's officially back after her. I think it was an ACL tear, so she's been out for almost a year after Mae Young Classic last year. So she's back now. So congratulations to her. So hopefully she'll stay healthy and she'll continue doing well for herself here on NXT and NXT UK. I believe I think it might have been the NXT Women's Championship match. I think that's what it was next. Yeah, I think that's what it was. Candice LeRae versus Shayna Baszler. I thought this match was very good as well. A lot better than I thought it was going to be. I'm sorry. I forgot about the Shane Thorne and Johnny Gargano. I think they did that match first. So I'll quickly do NXT Women's Championship. I'll go into Shane Thorne and Gargano. So I thought this match was very good. Shayna ended up retaining. I guess it's fine. I do admit, though, Shayna should lose the championship soon. But I don't think Candice was the right person. I think there's one person that really, truly deserves it. And her name's Dakota Kai. And a lot of people are going to kind of think about that going, wait, why Dakota Kai of all people? If memory serves correct, was Dakota Kai Shayna Baszler's very first victim and that she would constantly bully all the time? Didn't she break her arm a few times and treat her like crap for months? Dakota Kai just come back from injury. I'm saying this right now. Whether it's at War Games or next year, I guarantee you, I think Dakota Kai should be the one to beat Shayna Baszler. Because Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler have unfinished business. They have unfinished business. And Dakota Kai should hold on championship for a while, then drop it to Io, and then Io could drop it to Candice. Because Io and Candice have history. They can do that. And while that's happening, Shayna can be moved up to main roster. Simple. So that's what I'd go for. If I had to pick, I'd say Rhea Ripley, or I prefer Dakota Kai. But I think it's either going to be Rhea Ripley or Dakota Kai challenging Shayna next for that championship. That's my prediction on that. Well, the other match was very good. Shayna retained, so no real complaints there. So before that match, I forgot it was Shane Thorne versus John Gargano. This match was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. When I look at Shane Thorne, I have not really been like, oh, he's amazing, but I watched this match with Gargano, and the guy is extremely underrated and unappreciated. I keep forgetting how talented this guy really is. Gargano Shane Thorne was an extremely underrated match. This match was really good. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I think it was only like a 10-minute match, but it was great. It was a really good, stiff, close fall match. Gargano ended up beating Shane Thorne, which was the right move to make, and Gargano gets his victory, and he's still staying at NXT. I really don't have anything much to say about it. I just thought this match was really good. And I hope I don't know what they'll do with Gargano next. I really don't, but I don't know what they'll do with Gargano, but I would definitely try to use Shane Thorne as much as possible. Try to build him up. I don't care if they put him with a faction or something, but that guy's really talented. He's starting to win me over now. Next we have Pete Dunne versus Danny Burch. Again, very short match, but it was very physical. So if you like that brutalizing physical matchups, I think you'll enjoy this match. It was exactly what it was. Pete Dunne won, which was fine, 5-minute match, but it wasn't a bad 5-minute match. It was a very stiff match. Lights go out, and out comes Damian Priest, formerly known as Punishment Martinez, to attack Pete Dunne. So it looks like we're getting Punishment Martinez, Damian Priest now versus Pete Dunne. I ain't complaining about that. That sounds like a pretty fun, stiff match to do, so we'll see what happens going forward. We'll see what happens. Before we begin on the main event, 2 matches were announced that Lio Rush will be challenging Drew Gulak for the NXT Cruiserweight Championship. Yep, they're calling the Cruiserweight Champion NXT Cruiserweight Championship now. So it looks like Cruiserweight Championship is a part of NXT now. And then we got Walter versus Kushida. Fuck my life. Oh my god, I can't wait for that. So 2 solid matches for next week's show. So that's pretty good. So we'll see. But then we have the main event is the Street Profits versus the Undisputed Era or Red Dragon, Bobby Fish, Kyle O'Reilly for NXT Tag Team Championships. I thought the match was very good. I don't think this was their best match together. I still think their best match was their takeover match. I thought it was still their best match those 4 came up with. This match was still very good, very dramatic. And if it though, Roderick Strong comes out, and he basically distracts Angelo Dawkins and the Street Profits, and Undisputed Era win. Basically, they want to do a distraction. They retain the tag team championships, and then Al Cole is on stage to congratulate them. But then we hear someone else's music. Tommaso Ciampa returns, and it's been confirmed he's medically cleared to come back with no leg brace or knee brace or anything. So think about this. The 2 now possible next challengers for Adam Cole are Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa. I don't care which one of those is on the TakeOver card, but those 2 are TakeOver card worthy. Those matches too would be great in their own right. I can't wait for those. So that ending was awesome. I applauded and all that, so I was so happy Ciampa is back now. And then earlier in the show we had Velveteen Dream Pro saying that he lost the championship due to interference, and he challenged Roderick Strong to a rematch. But to see if Roderick Strong would do it on his own. So I forgot about the Velveteen Dream Pro there, but they said that earlier in the show. So I thought NXT was an awesome show, a lot of awesome matches, some great returns. Nitpicks for this show, I hate to say this, the commercial breaks, it felt like an eternity. I'm not going to lie. We got through the commercials on AEW fine, but we came to NXT for some reason. They felt like they dragged, and it felt like there might have been only like 8 commercial breaks the entire show, but it felt like 20. It felt like 20 of them. It really was bad in terms of commercial breaks. I don't know if that was because we were watching AEW and then immediately watched NXT afterwards. I don't know what it was, but it literally felt like it dragged a lot. And then another issue was way less lack of storytelling. There was a lot more wrestling, which is awesome. I do enjoy a lot of wrestling, but this is on cable TV now. You need to show these guys, to be honest, who these guys and girls are. You need to get them more characters, more segments, more promo time. NXT used to do that. They used to have a few good matches, and they had some great segments and stuff like that. So I hope next week we get some good matches, but we also get a lot more talks. We get a lot more talking segments. We get a lot more character development, more stories moving forward. With that being said, so those are my critiques of that. So overall, AEW won the reigns, but this is my personal opinion. What I thought was the better show. Did I think NXT or AEW was the better show? I honestly thought NXT was the better show. That does not mean AEW was a bad show at all. I thought AEW was a great show, but NXT just practically gave us a takeover card. Like I said, AEW, the biggest issues with that match was a lot of the matches were very sloppy at times, and there was quite a bit of botching. And then I kind of wish they did a little bit more storytelling, a little bit more character segments, stuff like that. I'd say they did a lot more than NXT. That's a lot more credit to give to, but a lot of the matches felt sloppy and botching. And they kind of took away from some of the matches in that. But in NXT, however, they had too many commercial breaks, and it felt like too many commercial breaks and not enough storytelling. But I did enjoy, in terms of more quality wrestling, I did enjoy NXT a lot more. I felt a lot happier. I felt more excited for NXT. That doesn't mean AEW was bad. Just because I pick one side, that does not mean the other show is bad. Well, unless it's them compared to Raw and SmackDown, but, I digress. So, if I had to give a rating, I give AEW 8.5 out of 10, and I give it NXT 9 out of 10. Like I said, NXT was just a lot better show, in my opinion, in terms of definitely in-ring quality. If AEW had better in-ring quality and the match was a lot more fluent, I think AEW, in my personal opinion, could have easily won this, but you had the amazing matches with NXT. You had the returns on top of it coming in, debuts and returns. The crowds were still also excited. So, although mainly just the matches and the returns alone made NXT worth watching. AEW is definitely worth watching too. It's just not as on the same caliber as NXT. But again, that's my personal opinion. So, as of right now, the winner is NXT for this week. So, with that being said, I'm going to end this video off. Again, just a reminder, there will be no Hell in a Cell review tomorrow. I'll try to do a Hell in a Cell review either Monday or Tuesday, depending on how situations go. I will be doing the episode 2 of the Wednesday Night War next week. Excuse me. I'll try to do that next Thursday. Try and see if I could do that next Thursday after work. Get that done. But comment down below, tell me your thoughts. What did you think was the better show? Was it AEW or was it NXT? Give me your reasons why. Again, I'm not going by a rating system. I'm just going by my own personal opinion. So my own personal opinion, what I thought was the better show, I honestly thought NXT was the better show. Not saying AEW sucked, because that was a great show. I highly recommend you go watch AEW. But I thought NXT was just slightly better, in my personal opinion. With that being said, take care all my peeps. I'll see you guys Monday or Tuesday when I do a review of Hell in a Cell, and then I'll see you guys more likely Thursday when I do the next episode for the Wednesday Night War. So, have fun. Again, sorry for the late review, been a lot of stuff going on. Again, surgery and everything, so, and software stuff malfunctions. So, take care all my peeps. See you guys next time. The war has only just begun.